Welcome to TLTV, Traubenliebe TV, live or partly live from Kinsale in County Cork in Ireland. And today again we celebrate joy and pleasure, celebrated in wine, not in wine, we do it in cider. And with regards to cider, we have two candidates today. We have the Longueville house cider, which is a non-vintage cider from County Cork. And the second one is a vintage cider from 2012. It's from Craigies Irish cider, Dalliance 2012. And of course, they will be very different. Both of them are unfiltered ciders. That means they're a little bit more cloudy, but they do have a lot more flavor components in them, and which we'll test immediately, because I'm excited. So we first start with the non-vintage cider to really have a look. So that's the Longueville house cider, 100% medium dry craft cider from the Blackwater Valley here in County Cork. It's a farm with 500 acres, and they just produce cider. No additives, no colorings, it's a proper cider. 5% alcohol, that means it's a single fermentation. What we tasted before were some of the double fermentation ciders. And this particular cider will be cloudy from appearance. It doesn't say really which apples they use, but if you look purely at the color of the cider, it's a lot darker than some of the other ciders. And if they filter and centrifuge some of the cider components, you get a lot less flavor and flavor components in the cider. From a carbonation perspective, you already see as well very little medium-sized bubbles. And if you look at the nose, you don't really need to oxygenate this, as the carbonation will actually do that for the cider. You actually get a good flavor for the actual palate. And the funny thing is, cider of course has no tannins, but you do get a little bit of grip from the actual skins of the apples that are in this particular cider. And that is the exciting part, where it's a medium dry, but the residential sugar actually in the cider is not present. You get a nice acidity, and that's where this would work really well with some of the local seafood, for example. Instead of ordering a white wine with your crab, try a craft cider. A fish chowder with the cream, it will cut nicely into the cream. The acidity will just lift the flavors of the actual food in question. So therefore, from this perspective, is a clear 83 points. Buy the cider, test it. If you're in Kinsale or in Ireland and you get your hands on this particular cider, give it a go. It's €4, so it's not a very expensive one. Stay away from the main brands. This is made basically only of apples and fermentation. That is pretty much it. No additives, no additional sugar, no water. It's cider how it should be, and it's very accessible from a price point. So try this one out. And now we go on to the second cider, which is a 2012 vintage cider. And vintage cider is something that is relatively new. As well, from the price point, €4.49. It's still here on the bottle. It's quite exciting because vintage cider is something, it's becoming a little bit more trendy now, because you can actually store ciders like you do with wine. But let's first empty the old glass before the tide actually gets in here. I have 3 more hours left. But this one here, if you look, from Craigies Irish cider, Dalliance 2012, has a higher alcohol point, 5.8%. And that will mean, from the expectation set, you get a crisper, clearer pattern and structure of the cider. If I look at the bottle now, it looks non-filtered. And you can see as well, it's a very different structure of the particular cider. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's a lot clearer, has a very nice structure. And it looks like, let's see if it says which apples they use. They use a secret blend, so that could be a lot. That could be a lot of different types of apple that are in this cider. It's a shame. It's always good to know what apples are in the cider, because you can actually, after a while, kind of learn, I like this particular grape in wine, I like a Pinot Noir. With cider, it is the same thing. It's the type of apples that you enjoy. And that is one of the things you enjoy with this particular cider. So, non-filtered. Very, very nice acidity. No tongue grip as always with the other cider. Has a nice structure. It's something I would recommend again with a lovely like fish chowder, seafood chowder. The acidity is really good. The nose light, yeasty, appley, friendly, fresh. This is a clear winner for me. I am a big fan of the let's say the drier ciders. This particular one was medium dry. And this vintage cider, of course, has more acidity as well when you store it. But time progress will actually change the structure of the cider. And that means the Dalliance 2012 vintage cider is the clear winner with 86 points. That means everything above 80, and look at the scoring notes, it's similar to wine. Everything above 80 is a clear buying recommendation. And this with 86 points is fantastic. So it is a sheer pleasure to drink this, and especially at 4.50. If you're in a restaurant and you have the choice of getting a mediocre bottle of wine or some good wine and spend tons of money, why not get some Irish cider? These are great products at a very competitive price point. You get a lovely structured cider that works well with the local ingredients here. The wonderful seafood, lobster, crab, the other fish, some of the local prawns. I'm just thinking scallops here. The sweetness and the sugar in the scallops, combining that with a fantastic Irish cider, that is amazing. So go and try it out. So when you're in Kinsale, many good restaurants. One recommendation is Crackpots, a great restaurant. Bullman near the fort. They do fantastic seafood. I had an incredible risotto there with local scallops for a very pleasant price point. There are many small good restaurants. Check out the blog, check me out on Twitter to get a look, as most of the tweets are in English. Some of them of course are in German, as this is a bilingual food blog. And as well visit the Museum of Wine here, as Kinsale has a very rich history with regards to the wine trade. And if it wasn't for a lot of the Irish pioneers in that sense, Bordeaux and other wine regions of the world wouldn't be the same as they are today. So this is me from Kinsale. Thank you very much for watching. Visit Kinsale, try local Irish ciders, and really enjoy them. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching. As always, pair the right ciders to the right people, to the right food. Let's say the important triangle of these things with food, nice beverages and nice people. Have good conversations and be open. Try different things. Try a new cider, as Ireland produces some phenomenal cider. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers from Kinsale. Bye bye. Proost.